The internet is literally on fire right now, so stop whatever you're doing. Imagine this. The bomb of the decade will be dropped tomorrow with a confident voice and a bold chest-out stance. I'm expecting a child. Mendy perceives him as the father. Did you notice that Mendy sees that she is pregnant? And there, in front of thousands of people, Yandy's expression fell like a Netflix season finale cliffhanger as she watched live. She didn't yell. She didn't argue. No, she sobbed, hands shaking, mascara smearing faster than a Kardashian breakup headline, tears streaming. Let's face it, when Yandy breaks down, the entire internet breaks down as well. Lore at least captures it, memes it, and spread it throughout TikTok in less than a second. 2 seconds. Here's the real kicker, though. Was this merely a dramatic situation? Was it deliberate sabotage? Instead, was Tamar only using live video to gain influence by stealing Yandy's soul? Or has she been concealing this fact for months? More significantly, where in heck did Mendy see all of this? Like a guy with too many secrets and not enough justifications, he sat quietly. Hold on tight, because this is not only going to be messy, it's going to be historic. You're not prepared for the receipts, the leaks, and the complete upheaval that ensued after this meltdown. I assure you, this crisis did not happen overnight, so let's establish the scene. No. Years of dramatization, quiet gloom, and late-night murmurs that exploded in real time were all part of this. Oh no, this was a well-planned, precisely timed nuke that was intended to destroy Yandy's world while the cameras ran and the internet watched with popcorn in hand. Tamar didn't simply wake up one morning and announce, "Guess what, y'all, I'm having Mendeecees, baby." Not to mention who we are interacting with. Tamar is the self-proclaimed truth-teller of every reunion episode and the queen of messy. She has a tendency to convert private drama into public controversy. Do you need evidence? Recall the moment she criticized an ex on Instagram using just a screenshot and the words, "Receipts don't lie, baby." That post alone had the shade rooms on steroids. Assistance. Are we truly shocked that she revealed her pregnancy in such a shocking way? Not at all. Our favorite reality TV comeback king Mendy comes next. The man whose history is so tumultuous that it deserves its own Wikipedia entry. From dubious business endeavors to judicial drama, his Nemeho's been featured in further headlines. Then a wedding for the Kardashians. However, Yandy constantly supported him, holding it down, and defending him like an unpaid public relations team. It was ride or die for her, the wife who endured the anguish with a smile and swallowed the rumor. But you know what? All of that commitment was just torn to pieces by Tamar, who then flunged it live in Yandy's face. That moment is worth a slow-motion replay. So let's talk about it once again. Smiling, Tamar leans closer and says, "I'm about to ruin somebody's night, and I'm loving every second." She clears her throat, fixes her mic, and then, with the composure of a surgeon, she cuts Yandy's heart. "I'm expecting a child, and Mendeecees, the father." Boom. Timeline ruined. Internet broken. Yandy is no longer there. She didn't react loudly. It was destruction without sound. Her lips trembled, her eyes glowed, and before anyone could comprehend, tears were streaming down her face. There was no script. It was not practiced. Producers love this kind of unfiltered response. The kind that turns into GIFs, memes, and TikTok edits before the live stream has even concluded. Watching Yandy's breakdown was like watching my own mother cry. "Tamar, you're terrible for this," one fan wrote on Twitter, while another said, "I knew Tamar was messy." However, this is villain energy on a whole other level. But wait, it gets worse, because the confession wasn't about pregnancy alone. Tamar said it included receipts, or at least what she thought they were. She cocked her head, glancing directly at Yandy, and continued, "We spent nights together. Nor one, nor you, can't make this stuff up, honey. 2, a lot." That's when the chat section blew up. Nights together. Fans were typing like their keyboards. We're on fire. Did she just say she and Mendeecees spent several nights together while Yandy believed he was at business meetings? Oh, honey, Mendeecees man sat there like a mannequin in this equation. There was no emotion or denial, only blank stares at Macy's. The quiet was louder than Tamar's confession, and others were yelling at their screens. If you're guilty, blink twice. But no, nothing, just a deadpan. It was like he had practiced being a silent husband. Mendy's poker expression was the subject of memes on Twitter with headlines like "When your whole world burns, but you remembered to pay the wee bill." Naturally, the internet took that silence and ran with it. Within minutes, hashtags began trending. Pray for Andy, #TMRex, exposed. Mendeecees mess. TikTok was the cascading effect, drowning in remixes of Tamar's "I'm Pregnant" voice. Fan pages shared side-by-side photos of Tamar and Yandy on Instagram with the remark, "From besties to enemies, the betrayal is real." Overdramatic sound effects. The problem is that this wasn't Tamar's first scandal. It was no longer just rumors. It was digital warfare. Like that mysterious post she made 2 months ago. People dug up old interviews, old subtweets, and old shade that suddenly made sense. It was about late nights, poor decisions, and unforgettable memories. At the time, people assumed she was referring to a vacation fling, but now everyone is yelling. Sis was talking about Mendeecees the entire time. Naturally, there are anonymous sources, so let's add some spice to this. According to a gossip blog, one insider claimed that Tamar had been boasting to her close circle for weeks, saying, "Watch me shake the table. Yandy will never forget the surprise I have in store for her." If that's the case, this was a deliberate act rather than merely a slip of the tongue. Some people love clout more than they love loyalty. One R&B singer posted a cryptic tweet. Tamar entered the room with a plan: destroy Yandy in real time. Fans weren't the only ones reacting. Other celebrities couldn't help but join in the drama. A reality TV alumnus wrote, "This is the messiest mess I've ever seen, and I live for it." Even verified accounts started shading Tamar, calling her the Thanos of love and hip-hop for snapping her fingers and wiping out Yandy's happiness. And if that wasn't enough, fake leaks started pouring in. Screenshots allegedly showing late-night texts between Tamar and Mendeecees made their way around Twitter. One message read, "I'm outside. Don't keep me waiting." Tamar and Mendeecees' appearances weren't just for show. Last night was crucial. Were they real? Probably not. But did anyone care? Nope. In the realm of scandal, perception is reality. And the public had already made up its mind. It was the ultimate slap in the face. And just when you think it couldn't get any messier, let's add another one. Yandy's breakdown was more devastating because she wasn't just betrayed. As a wife, she was betrayed as a woman who supported her husband through difficult times, stood by him when blogs brought his name up, and in exchange, Tamar, pregnancy, and humiliation on live.twist. Rumors of a DNA test because, of course, the internet wants proof. Fans began asking for more style confirmation. Mendy realizes you are the father. Others said Tamar was faking it to make Yandy look bad. In any case, the doubt was sown and the chaos was just getting started. Fans weren't content with Tamar. Dramatic and expectant statement. Oh no. They wanted cold, hard evidence. So they became a full-fledged public demand. In a single night, a TikTok with the tagline, "Bring Tamar, Yandy, and Mendeecees to my right now," received 2 million views. We require answers. An additional post tiled, "Ignore hip-hop and love. This is DNA and love." This is where things get even more interesting, though, because as fans were yelling for evidence, leaks began to surface online. Suddenly, screenshots purportedly showed Tamar emailing a friend, female. "I informed him of the pregnancy news before to the show," when the public believed that the story was locked. An anonymous source claiming to be close to Tamar leaked to a gossip blog. Tamar orchestrated this because she was sick of being silent and sick of being lied to. He froze. He didn't deny it. He knows whether those texts were real or photoshopped magic. It didn't matter. "I'm going to shake the table so hard the legs will break," she told us, and she wasn't lying. What was she hiding? Another so-called source whispered that Yandy had been suspicious for months. And the quote spread like wildfire, giving Tamar an image of a master manipulator with a flair. Meanwhile, Yandy's side of the tale began to surface as well. "Where are you going so late?" she used to ask him. The thing that upset fans the most was when Yandy was betrayed by someone she believed to be a friend, not by rumors. He would always say it was business, but she knew something was wrong, even though she didn't think it was Tamar. Speaking of friends, let's not overlook the most outrageous. Fans pieced together old Instagram stories, background photos, and blurry paparazzi shots to suggest Tamar and Mendeecees were frequently in the same city at the same time. Was it fate or coincidence? Tamar claimed she and Mendeecees spent a lot of nights together, and there were no hotels mentioned, but the rumors were vague, enough to let imaginations run wild. Or was it a planned cover-up? Detectives said, "Look, same location," by putting red circles on coffee cups and matching drapes, as if they were trying out for CSI. There was no doubt that they were together. The anger began to permeate the industry. It wasn't limited to social media chatter. One host stated, "Tamar has always been extra, but this is nuclear," during a lengthy discussion of the issue on the talk show panel. If this is accurate, she torched the entire field down, in addition to crossing the line. And Mendeecees sitting there silent. Someone else commented. Though the responses weren't entirely negative, Tamar began to grow greater confidence as a result of that quiet, which spoke louder than words ever could. A bizarre online cult following. "Y'all mad at Tamar, but she's the only one who had the guts to put the truth out there," one fan said, praising her for speaking her truth and not hiding behind lies. Someone else wrote, "Messy, indeed. Required, of course you have to snatch. Sometimes, to wake folks up. Wear wigs." Tamar was suddenly more than just the bad guy. She was the anti-heroine of a story that no one could ignore. Fans transformed Yandy's sobbing videos into edits with depressing R&B music, slow-motion effects, and phrases like "when loyalty becomes your downfall." A hashtag "Weary Yandy" trended, while Yandy's dramatic breakdown became the internet's heartache anthem. In less than a day, Yandy went from reality TV star to Universal's symbol of heartbreak, with thousands of people sharing their own tales of betrayal and expressing empathy for her suffering. However, it's important to remember that Mendeecees sees the man at the center of the storm, and his silence became a scandal in and of itself, with blogs asking, why hasn't he said a word? Is he guilty? Is he afraid? Is he awaiting a check before he speaks? One meme, which said, when you don't know whether to deny, confess, or just unplug the way, featured him sitting motionless. The more he remained silent, the worse it appeared. Then the financial aspect surfaced, and rumors began to circulate that Tamar was using this controversy to close business. Fans criticized her for turning sadness into a business plan before the tears had even dried, saying, "Sis cried clout, not tears." Rumor had it that she was already in negotiations with a streaming provider to create a candid documentary called The Baby Bomb, My Truth. Others, however, supported her hustling, saying, if life throws you a curveball, make a Netflix bag. Yandy, meanwhile, Han was portrayed as the tragic figure according to several websites. She had isolated herself and refused to communicate with anyone. A writer was purportedly told by an unnamed acquaintance that Yandy hasn't eaten in days. Whether it's true or overblown, she never stops asking why Tamar and why her. The story touched a chord, and supporters showered Yandy's social media accounts with virtual flowers, prayers, and incessant comments. Like, Queen, stay strong. You are loved by us. When alleged court documents began to surface, the scandal became even more. One widely shared article stated that Tamar had already filed for child support, naming Mendy as the father, and another said Yandy was drafting divorce papers. Of course, none of these were confirmed, but the people were already creating TikTok parodies depicting courtroom confrontations involving Tamar, Yandy, and Mendeecees, so they didn't need to be court of public opinion. One video even reproduced the Maury Povich scene, captioned, "Mendeecees, you are the father." It received 1 million views in a single day, and to make matters worse, the controversy began to affect their brands. There were rumors that sponsors were pulling out because they didn't want their goods associated with pregnancy shambles. A fashion collaboration with Tamar abruptly vanished from social media, and a makeup brand reportedly halted a campaign with Yandy. Money talks. And in this instance, the money was saying, we don't do baby daddy scandals. However, the situation only got worse when another receipt revealed a purported audio recording, which was purportedly of Tamar and was making the rounds on dubious blogs. He told me he was done with Yandy, he said to a buddy. I was the one. Was it Tamar's voice? Maybe. Was it artificial intelligence AI? Maybe. Did fans care though? Not at all. Tamar supporters took the recording as gospel, and at this point, the scandal had escalated into a full-fledged soap opera, and everyone had chosen a side. Tamar was the loud, messy, unapologetic team. Yandy was the heartbroken, betrayed, and resilient team. Poor Mendeecees sees no team because the man hasn't said a word yet, but silence doesn't last forever. Rumors began to circulate that Mendy was getting ready to make a statement, possibly even a press conference, and some people said he would deny everything. Some said he would come clean. Some even conjectured that he would change the story and charge Tamar of fabricating lies to gain attention. Fans remained riveted to their screens, anticipating the next shocking development. Since the anticipation was so intense, the entire globe held its breath. Mendeecees' silence has been the driving force behind every meme, thought piece, and exclusive headline for days. Then, at last, he said something. Or someone posing as him did. Nonetheless, his official account posted an enigmatic Instagram live late one evening. With only a shaky camera, low lighting, and no promo or warning, Mendy finds himself looking directly into the camera. He just spoke a few words, but they were explosive like dynamite. Despite the belief that you know everything, you don't. Then he abruptly logged off 0.30 seconds. That's all. Millions of people screamed at their televisions for 30 seconds, wondering what it meant. Was he rejecting what Tamar had said? Did he validate them? Or was he laying the groundwork for something more significant? Theories exploded on blogs. Mendeecees hints, read one headline. One person retorted, he said nothing because he's guilty. Period. Social media turned his cryptic statement into the most dissected sentence of the year. At Explosive Truth Bomb, is tomorrow lying? Every pause, blink, and pixel of that live stream was examined like the Zapruder film. Tamar doubled down in the meantime. She the truth, don't need permission to exist, she said as the caption for her glitzy photo, hand on her stomach. Boom, another internet explosion. Her remarks were analyzed by fans like a book. Did she make fun of Mendeecees? Was she making a lap of triumph? In any case, the post received 1 million hours and likes. Yandy, however, was not keeping silent either. She spoke candidly for the first time since the shock in a sad interview. That interview devastated hearts, and fans poured their souls into the comments. It hurts, y'all. It hurts more than I can even put into words. To think you know someone to build a life with them, and then this with Tamar, someone I trusted, it's betrayal on a level I can't even explain. Of solidarity, Yandy. We ride for you. You deserve so much more. The hashtag prayer for Andy hashtag went viral, portraying her as the ultimate victim in a disastrous love triangle. However, this is where the story took its most sinister turn. Rumors of legal action. A well-known lawyer purportedly representing Yandy made references to imagine the headlines. Baby daddy, court battle incoming. Mendeecees double legal drama. Leaked court documents claimed Yandy was considering filing for separation while Tamar's alleged child support case was pending review. There could be lawsuits not only against Tamar, but against anyone making money off of the lies. A blurry photo, posted anonymously on Reddit, purportedly showed Mendy listed as the father of Tamar's unborn child. The internet went crazy, and the post went viral with captions like "Receipts don't lie" and "Case closed." Then came the nuclear leak, a so-called DNA test result. Meanwhile, the media feasted on the chaos like vultures. It could have been photoshopped. It could have been artificial intelligence, AI generated. But by that point, it didn't matter. The verdict had already been delivered in the court of public opinion, and sponsors began to withdraw. Overnight, a fitness brand dropped Mendeecees. Tamar's rumored lhhatl put on hold for a while. Ironically, Yandy received a lot of support from brands who wanted her to represent strength and resiliency. One skincare company even offered her a 6-figure deal for a campaign called Unbreakable. The cultural fallout was enormous, with talk shows debating it every day, churches preaching about loyalty and treachery, and even a rapper dropping a diss song. Tamar and Mendeecees were specifically mentioned in a song called Baby Mama Drama. Scandal had evolved from a gossip to a cultural phenomenon, but the plot was still being twisted. According to another exclusive leak, Tamar and Mendeecees had filmed private videos together, which, if accurate, could ruin Mendeecees' remaining credibility. Blogs alluded to their existence, but didn't post them. The thread alone sent fans into a tailspin. If those tapes fall, it's over for everyone. Meanwhile, insiders muttered that Yandy was getting ready to leave everything Mendeecees, the marriage, and the chaos. One source claimed that she's tired and just wants peace. This broke her in ways no one could ever understand. Fans continued to support her, referring to her as the phoenix that would rise from the ashes. She continued to fuel the flames tomorrow, hinting of a book contract that would reveal all, and posting cryptic tweets like "Truth ain't messy. Lying is messy." Keep in mind that each phrase was like a dagger, keeping her in charge of the story. The scandal got so out of control that more than just gossip blogs began to cover it, and anchors sat at Polish desks saying things like, "In entertainment news, the Tamar Yandy Mendy saga continues." The biggest twist of all was when it was reported that Mendy might actually leave. The fans quipped, "Catch me if you can." According to one unsubstantiated report, he was seen at an airport with his bags packed, while another stated he was going to hide out abroad until things calmed down. But there was real suspicion beneath the fun. Was he actually fleeing? However, a last bombshell was released just as the craze reached its peak insanity. Tamar revealed that she would be having a live sit-down interview not on Instagram Live or TikTok, but on Primetime Network, looking straight into the camera, in her promo teaser, and saying, "They've had their say. It's time for mine now, and I can assure you that it surpasses all of your previous expectations." The internet ceased to function. Would she disclose evidence, drag Yandy further, or confirm or refute the DNA rumors? Whatever the case, one thing was certain. This scandal was not going to end anytime soon. If anything, it was about to enter its most deadly chapter. And everyone, including supporters, detractors, sponsors, and even legal teams, the controversy that won't go away. The love triangle that evolved into a cultural earthquake, the confession that tore friendships, marriages, and reputations apart. Tamar's bombshell, Yandy's tears, and Mendeecees' silence. There you have it. It's the kind of drama you can't write in a Hollywood script. But the question still stands. What will happen next? Will Tamar's next meeting provide indisputable proof of everything, or is she preparing to further twist the story so that we are all waiting for her every word? Will Yandy finally leave, rising from the ashes as the queen who refused to submit to betrayal? Consider this: one leaked DNA test, one grainy screenshot, one shaky live video, and all of a sudden, the internet is at war. But if this is what's going on the surface, imagine the secrets still hidden beneath. Imagine the texts we read. And what about Mendeecees? Is he truly the father, or just another pawn in Tamar's grand scheme for attention and power? I'm throwing it to you now. Do you think Tamar's pregnancy story is true? Do you think Yandy is the innocent victim, or is there more to her silence than meets the eye? And is Mendeecees concealing the truth, or simply waiting for the right opportunity to profit from the chaos? I haven't seen the recordings that haven't leaked, or the deals that are being made behind closed doors. I know you have opinions about this, so please share them in the comments section. I promise you will want to stay here, so please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and enable notifications because the next chapter in the story is quickly approaching. If you found this shocking, you'd not yet seen anything.